Welcome, class, to Kitchen 101, where we teach you how to think like a chef. How to cook, not what to cook. Today we will discuss 5 tips to make washing the dishes as easy as possible. So grab yourself a pen, paper, and a scrub sponge, because I'm Professor Kitchen, and class is in session. I do believe the worst part of cooking is doing the dishes. I know lots of folks who enjoy cooking, but I don't really know anybody who enjoys doing the dishes. It's boring, time-consuming, and monotonous. I've got 5 tips to help make the dishes chore better. Now, I didn't say make it great, just better. If you can think of some that I missed, please let me know down in the comment section below. Before we start, let's get a few definitions straight. When I say rinse, I mean to clean with intent to remove foreign objects only. However, when I say wash, I mean to clean with intent to remove foreign objects and to kill bacteria. There is an important difference. First, only wash what you need to. This sounds a bit axiomatic, but you'd be amazed how many dishes I've seen get the full hot soapy water treatment that didn't need it. Let's go over a few basic rules about what needs washing and what doesn't. If it didn't touch food, it doesn't need to be washed. Take this pizza cutter. It has a cool little sheath that keeps it from getting dull by banging around the drawer. The only time this sheath needs to be washed is if it gets dropped in the food or on the floor. While the pizza cutter might need to be washed, the sheath is just fine. If it only touches fresh, healthy veggies and clean surface, just rinse it. The bacteria normally found in fresh veggies won't hurt humans. In fact, some of it is quite useful to us. Just rinse off the chunkies and put it back in the drawer. If it touches rotten veggies, wash it. While the bacteria that rotted the vegetables might not be dangerous to humans, it can produce some toxins that are. Once something has started to rot, throw it out and wash whatever it touched. If it touches an animal product, wash it. If a bacteria can invade another animal, it most likely can invade you. Wash that puppy. If it has fat on it, wash it. Even fat from veggies like avocado or canola oil. Fat won't completely wash off with just water. You have to use soap in order to get it all off. No use having cold soapy water for vegetable fat and hot soapy water for everything else. Just use the hot soapy stuff, save time and money. If anyone or anything slobbers on it, wash it. I don't care if a dog's mouth is supposed to be cleaner than a human's. That's not a really high bar. Drool equals washing. Second, wash as you go. There's quite a lot of downtime while cooking because you're sitting there waiting for things to boil or become crisp. Use that time to rinse the things that need to be rinsed. Also, go ahead and get the chunkies off of anything that needs to be washed. When meat or egg gets dried on stuff, it becomes much harder to get off. Get it off there before it becomes a problem. Third, manage your prep. One of the biggest dirty dish makers in our kitchen is prep utensils. While it looks cool to have all your ingredients prepped in its own little bowl like on TV, it normally doesn't make any sense. Most recipes call for the meat to get cooked first, or whole, so you shouldn't need a prep bowl for the meat. Just trim, chop, and drop in the pot. Also, you don't need a prep bowl for each of your veggies. Use one prep bowl for all of the veggies that go in at the same time. For instance, if the recipe calls for the onions, carrots, and bell peppers to go in at once, and then a few minutes later some potatoes and parsnips, you only need to make 2 prep bowls, not 5. Manage the amount of mess you make in order to minimize the amount of cleanup that's needed. Fourth, clean your countertops. This goes back to the first point. There's this thing called cross-contamination. What this means is that whatever a contaminable food touches becomes contaminated. If you're cutting up chicken, then whatever the chicken juices get on is now covered with bacteria. You may have a meat cutting surface, but that doesn't mean that all the juices stayed on that surface. Giving the area you just used to prep your meat a once-over with a sanitizing cleaner and clean towel will help prevent you from getting bacteria on things that should be clean. There have been many times I have picked up a knife to cut some veggies, only to find that it was sitting in something unknown. I then had to go get another knife to cut with because I couldn't take the chance that whatever that gunk was would contaminate my veggies. A clean work surface gives you peace of mind as well as reducing your wash load. Fifth, serve in the dishes that you cooked in. Let's be honest here. Despite what TV cooking shows portray, there is no reason for most of us to transfer dishes from their cooking vessels to serving vessels. Sure, If you're trying to impress someone, fine. But even then, the food is the main thing, not the vessel. Your meal may look like artwork, but if it tastes like paint and canvas, well, then you're not going to make a good impression. There's no need to dirty the extra dishes. Put a hot pad out there and serve in the cooking vessel. If someone complains, tell them if they'll do the dishes, you'll be more than happy to dirty as many as would make them happy. Doing the dishes is the worst part of cooking, so don't make it any worse than what it needs to be. Look at your cooking style and see where you can make adjustments to make life easier on you and your family. If you want to see more cooking tutorials like this one, click on the subscribe button down below. Thank y'all for coming today. I hope you have a great week. God bless. Class dismissed.